We don't know how we're going to pay for it. We don't know where we're going to put them, and we don't think it's going to affect any migration patterns whatsoever. So I don't know why we're doing it. Why are we doing it?
And what the state Senate ultimately voted to do was make illegal entry across our international border a violation of Texas criminal law, punishable by prison time. Panel, clearly this measure, which may not pass constitutional muster, is driven by frustration with President Biden's willingness to allow 7 to 8 million undocumented immigrants cross, largely undeterred. I'm going to start with you, Charles Blaine. Frustration station?
Yeah, I do think it's driven by the frustration, and we know that the legislature doesn't hesitate to pass things at times that are unconstitutional. So, I mean, it's interesting, but what I find really interesting is how for decades, well, a decade, all the Republican primary mailers said that they were doing everything they can on border security, but now suddenly, after all this time of talk, they now pass this? Why didn't they pass it 10 years ago if that's the case?
Yeah, well, the Senate's passed it a few times, but Bill, okay, you know, throw some cold water on this. 88% of our unscientific poll responders say, all in, let's make it a state crime.
Yeah, it unquestionably would be unconstitutional, held by the federal courts. There's 200 years of precedent that the federal government has exclusive plenary right to regulate immigration. So I think there's little doubt that it would be declared unconstitutional. But on top of that, I mean, what would you do with these people? I mean, the Harris County Jail is already overrun. The prisons, I mean, where would you put these people if you were going to do them? How long are we going to keep them? I mean, wouldn't a better idea be to send them back as opposed to making it, you know, putting them in jail here and having us pay for them? I mean, it just makes no sense from a policy standpoint.
Okay, Paul, as our only Latino member on the panel, but also you have family fighting the immigration war just to have some type of regularity and security down there.
Yeah, I think there's often a misunderstanding that all Hispanics or all people of Mexican descent are for immigration, and I have not found that to be true. What I have found is that all immigrants be treated with dignity and respect, right? And so when we see images of people caught up in razor wire as they're trying to get their babies through, I think if we just stayed in the question, what would have to be true for me as a parent to risk my child's life that way? If you empathetically look at that situation, I think what you have to see is there's something that people are running away from and running towards. And at the same time, we have to manage our border. We have to find a way to maintain ourselves and maintain our status as a state that's sovereign. And that's not happening. I think Democrats are completely missing the boat and being perceived as open border advocates. And I think that needs to definitely be addressed. This is not the right way, but there should be a solution that we should be equally and together fighting for.
Chow, do you see this as xenophobia?
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking, you know, like Paul said, it's like humanity first, right? Don't forget those who are coming, and they're not to be criminalized across the border. That's not going to deter. That doesn't fix the problem. It makes the problem worse because we don't have a prison system that's efficient, nor do we have enough prisons, period, right? So let's address the humanity. We've talked about contract worker programs. We've talked about other sensible ways to come to this country to work and have a life for your family, as my family did as refugee immigrants, you know, 4 decades ago.
You know, over the years, Gary and I have become good friends, and I respect your pragmatism. Is this pragmatic, and if not, what is?
Well, first I want to say Chow's family entered the country legally.
Oh, I've heard that. Stop it. Stop it.
But it's true. And the problem is we have 8 to 10 million people who've entered the country illegally, right? A lot of them, almost the vast majority, 80, 90%, they're not fearing persecution. It's economic, okay? Because like Venezuela, where a lot of people are coming from now, that economy there is horrible. It's in the toilet and has been for a while. That's now how it's supposed to work. We're supposed to have legal immigration. Do we have enough slots for legal immigration? No. Should we have work permits? Absolutely. However, you've got to get control of the border, which Biden and actually much worse than Obama, much worse than Trump, he isn't doing it. So the border essentially is open. Now, is this part of the Democrat plan to fundamentally change America, adding 10 million new people when we give amnesty and then they can vote and they'll never vote Republican? Is that part of the conspiracy? I got no idea, but this is not functional. People who follow the rules get screwed.
Hey, Bill, Congress is going to fix this, right?
Yeah, the way people are coming in right now is claiming refugee status. The refugee law is broken. It needs to be fixed. When somebody walks into the country And right now, people are not trying to get away. They're walking up to immigration officers, and they've got a card that the cartels have given them, and they read the words that give them the right to claim refugee status. And if we do that, you cannot send them back. You've got to give them a court date. Unfortunately, we've got so few courts that takes 5 years now to get a hearing. That's the problem. Congress, get off your ass and fix this.